Oh yes, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited again to be with you to continue with Foundations of Agroecology. I'm Clovis Kabaseke from Mountains of the Moon University, and as usual, I'm very passionate about agroecology, not only as a teacher, but also as a practitioner. By this time, I believe that you people are now getting to understand exactly what agroecology is, and you can deliberate very maturely and very efficiently because by now you understand most of the mostly used terms in agroecology. I remember last time we were together, we were still continuing with the mostly used terms in agroecology. And I remember we talked about microclimate management, we talked about water harvesting, we talked about intercropping, we talked about agroecological research, and I think there was a lot of emphasis because the agroecology research that is agroecology, that focuses on understanding agroecological systems and developing sustainable farming practices is something that actually puts agroecology in a very special position in transforming this world. We also talked about food security, and we tried to explain how food security is important, and we said it shouldn't only stop at what is usually addressed, but it should also include the fuel that is used to cook and prepare the food. We also talked about green manure. I think we have we should have completed most of the mostly used terms. We even covered urban agriculture. We talked about food sovereignty. We talked about participatory research. I'm sorry. I believe with what we have so far covered, we can properly deliberate and engage in a conversation about agroecology with ease. This morning, I'm going to now talk about relevance of agroecology to sustainable development goals. Actually, the world, through the United Nations, felt that we must actually have some goals, and the goals are they should be sustainable. And these goals actually were put in place so that by 2030 we should have achieved them. I'm glad to inform you that agroecology is very relevant to most of these sustainable development goals. Actually, you get to understand how what you are studying is extremely important by seeing the way it actually impacts, the way it addresses these highly cherished sustainable development goals. Now, I'll begin with sustainable development goal number 1, which is no poverty. Agroecology supports smallholder farmers by enhancing food security and reducing reliance on expensive inputs, helping to lift communities out of poverty. That is Sustainable Development Goal 1, being very well addressed by agroecology. I'm very sure that the UN is very happy with this discipline of ours. The Sustainable Development Goal 2 is zero hunger. By 2030, we don't need anybody to be suffering from hunger. And agroecology, by promoting diverse and resilient farming practices, agroecology increases food production and improves nutritional quality, addressing hunger and malnutrition. So Sustainable Development Goal 2 is being addressed very well by agroecology. Now, we have got good health and well-being, which is Sustainable Development Goal 3. Agroecology offers access to diverse locally grown foods which contribute to better health outcomes, reducing diet-related diseases, and improving overall well-being. By so doing, the Sustainable Development Goal 3 is addressed by agroecology. Now we have got quality education, which is Sustainable Development Goal 4. When there is improved security, this allows families to invest in education, while agroecological practices can be integrated into educational programs, promoting sustainable farming knowledge. In this way, agroecology is contributing to the achievement of Sustainable Development Goal 4. We have gender equality, which is Sustainable Development Goal 5. Agroecology practices often promote gender equity by involving women in decision-making processes and improving their access to resources. Agroecology in that way is actually doing what is required for SDG 5. SDG 6 is clean water and sanitation. Now, agroecology emphasizes sustainable water use and the protection of water sources, contributing to improved water quality and availability. That's how it fits well into the Sustainable Development Goal 6. Decent work and economic growth is SDG 8. Agroecology creates jobs in sustainable farming, processing, and marketing, contributing to economic growth while ensuring decent working conditions. In so doing, it actually contributes substantially into SDG 8. Industry, innovation, and infrastructure is SDG 9. Agroecological practices foster local innovations in farming techniques and resource management, enhancing rural infrastructure and resilience. That's how agroecology contributes to SDG 9. Reduced inequalities, that is SDG 10. Agroecology promotes equitable access to resources and markets, helping to reduce disparity